How you doing, Wiley?
I'm doing good.
I love you. You know what? I do. I love you. Um, Everything you said about Wendy was wrong. It's me, Jezzo. Everything you said about Wendy was wrong. Um, she's doing fine. She is in a facility. She's getting the help that she needs. Her son did see her. Um, they was together a few weeks ago. Far as Kevin's concerned, Kevin is not as broke as what the blogs is saying about him. Kevin actually owns two restaurants here in Brooklyn, and he's about to open up another restaurant in Brooklyn. Kevin also owns a publishing company. Tasha Scott is one of his clients. That cookbook that Tasha Scott wrote is published by his company. So Kevin is not as broke. Also, it's this notion that Kevin is this gold digger. He's not a gold digger. Kevin was already established before he met Wendy. Kevin had barbershops. Kevin was a event planner. A lot of parties and stuff that was going on here in New York around that time. Kevin is the one that was throwing those parties. In fact, that's how Wendy met Kevin. Wendy went to one of Kevin's parties, and she was hosting. He hired her, and she was hosting one of that party, and that's how they met. So this whole notion that Kevin is this guy that Wendy met and he was broke, no. Kevin was very known in the streets of New York. Maybe the rest of the world didn't know about Kevin, but in New York, Kevin was that guy who was throwing parties, who had his own barbershop. And the barbershop you're talking about, that barbershop was not a fail. That barbershop was very successful in Brooklyn. Kevin had a car shop, a car wash, and that car wash was successful as well. But once he got with Wendy, he started managing Wendy, he shut down all those businesses and he put all his focus onto Wendy. Not for nothing, Wendy would not be where she's at right now if it wasn't for Kevin. Wendy would still be in Philly, and maybe not even in Philly, but Wendy would still be on radio if it wasn't for Kevin. I'm just gonna be real. What he did with Sharina was messed up. It was messed up, and we're not gonna say that we condoning it or whatever. And I even spoke to Kevin yesterday. Me and him has had conversations before about the whole situation. He takes ownership for what he did. It's not right. But in the same token, Wendy ain't no angel either. And I'm not trying to diss Wendy. I love Wendy. That's my girl. But right is right and wrong is wrong. And Wendy is not. She's not an angel in that relationship either, as well. But because of the respect and the love that he has for Wendy to this day, he's not going to put Wendy out there like that. And then that's the mother of his child. So he's not going to put her out there like that. He's not going to express or tell what he went through dealing with Wendy. It's a lot of things that he could say, but he's not going to do that because he's that good of a man that he's not going to do that. He still loves her. 25 years you can't throw away. And I said that to him myself. I said, Kevin, 25 years of you being with that woman, there's no way in the world that you could sit there and tell me that you don't love her. You still love that woman, and she still loves you. Wendy was madly in love with Kevin to the point where she chose Kevin over her own family. And that's what drew her over the edge. The death of her mother, the death of her old producer Skeletor, and her failed marriage. And that's what drew her over the edge. That ultimately, I feel like that's what led her back to drinking. Because she was good. When Kevin was around, she was good. If you look at the timeline, ever since her and Kevin broke up, that's when it was a downward spiral. She fell off the wagon once he was out the picture. And I know it's for a fact.
Well, for me, I disagree. I think the producer said Kevin was very manipulative. He took over the show. He did not know what he did. He did not know what he was doing. He really wanted to be in charge of Wendy Williams. See, Wendy Williams had a bodyguard, and according to Wendy, he had to fire the bodyguard because, according to Kevin, thought that the bodyguard and Wendy was getting too close. He cheated on her. He disrupted her. He destroyed Wendy Williams' life. Mentally, he broke her because she fell in love with a cheater. But also, into Wendy Williams' regard, that he'd been cheating on her for years, and Wendy just said, okay, if you get a baby, that's it. But no, you need to cut off a cheater day one. He cheated on you first, I don't wait till you get a baby. Because I think Wendy would have had a more successful life because she could have met somebody else. She just dealt with this man and should have dumped him back then. I think she waited too late until the baby happened, and it embarrassed her. Because if she would have cut him off in the beginning stages, this wouldn't have been a story. This wouldn't have been an issue. It wouldn't have affected her that way. And then also, she's a very weak Black woman, very weak, because she decided to get back on the drugs, on the crack pipe, and on the alcohol, and it destroyed her career. She picked up these bad, terrible habits, and it destroyed her career because of decisions she made. Even though we can blame her husband, we could blame her husband all day for what he did, yes. But she the one that decided to pick up the bottle. She the one that decided to pick up the drugs. It was an issue. It was a very toxic environment with her doing that. She invited to do all of the drugs and also the alcohol. And they said and it affected her to the point that it also affected her decision-making skills, that the courts got involved and said, hey, you can't even control your bank statements, your checkbook, because you are mentally incompetent. So they decided
I'm gonna stop you with that. I'm gonna stop you with that.
To be over her money.
I'm gonna stop you with that.
She ain't over her money today. Somebody else
I'm gonna stop you with that. That whole court situation with the conservator is nothing but a bunch of leeches who put alcohol around her, knowing that she had a previous substance abuse problem. She stated this on the radio. On the radio, she stated this. Like, this is well known. She stated that she was on drugs at one point. They knew what to do. Once Kevin left the scene, they knew what to do to use her. I mean, like, yes, I'm not going to sit here and say Kevin is the greatest man in the world. He's not the greatest man in the world. But I can honestly tell you, that man held that whole shit down.
But and he also used her money for his cheating ways. Wendy funded that.
Right. He did.
So he used her too. But when the courts get involved, they look at the evidence. And it was overwhelming proof, that Wendy Williams is not in her right mind to make financial decisions.
And I'm telling you, bro, that was people behind the scenes that did all of that. Wendy was in her right mind when Kevin was around. Wendy was a sound person when Kevin was around. Her world did not start falling apart once Kevin left.
Exactly. That's on whatever the case may be. She's not in the best financial
exactly
anymore. And the drinking does affect your decision-making skills, because when they say Wendy drinks, she drinks to the point where she's unrecognizable. And also, Wendy also have other health problems as well. It's very for her. And so a lot of this blame is on her. And it's so sad that she is still considered a young woman. She ain't in her 80s. And yet she have to get permission from a conservative to spend her money that she worked hard for.
I'm gonna just tell you this. There were a lot of leeches around them, both of them. I'm not gonna say too much, because I'm gonna let Kevin have his piece. Because Kevin is going to, one day, he's gonna sit down and he's gonna talk to somebody, and he's gonna really, really put it out there one day. I was around there. I've been around. And I'm telling you, there was a lot of leeches that was around. There was a lot of people that was trying to change Wendy, that was trying to move Wendy in a different direction. And Kevin was like, no, this is what we want to do. This is the direction that we want to go. Deborah Mercury was and is a company, a production company that don't know Black culture. And that's what Kevin was trying to maintain. He was trying to maintain Black culture within the show. They were trying to drive Wendy away from Black culture. And Kevin was like, no. Her core fan base is Black people.
I get that. But because of her drinking and the drug use, she messed that all up. She couldn't even come to work.
All right, and I'm telling you,
and they had to let her go. She was a liability to the company.
There was so much. There was so much that has not been said or have not been told. And
it's because of her drinking. It's because of her drug use.
No,
you don't see the other lady doing that. She's showing up to work. She ain't having a drinking problem. See, the issue is you cannot blame the production company that gave you an opportunity. You got to take advantage of that.
No, I'm telling you, bro. It's all about money. It's all about money. It's all about money and control, bro.
And
it's all about money and control.
Have to do your job.
Okay?
You can't be on crack and do drugs and drink
all
that. You will lose an opportunity.
I'm interested to have with this. The reason why Wendy's no longer on that show now is because, yes, she was on. She's got her substance abuse problem, right? In her contract, in every media personality contract, talent contract, there's a clause that says if that person is not mentally sound, the production company can shut down the show or remove the person off the show and replace them with somebody else. Right?
I agree, but my thing is this: they was about to lose their time slot.
No, they wasn't.
They was
no,
about,
they wasn't.
the network was like, listen, this is what the reports that was coming back to what we read. They said they were about to lose their time slot. And so they had to find somebody to replace it because they was like, listen, she can't come to work. She has stopped coming to work. And so they said, okay, so they had to go with somebody else. And they went on with somebody else and they're able to do their job. And also the ratings were the whole. I think the issue with Wendy is because she was a crackhead and she drank a lot. And then also Kevin also have gay activities because according to a brother said that he was having sex with men. I don't know if it's true or not, but that brother said that on Tasha K's show.
That's a lie.
So you don't believe that he slept with men, but that's what he should have sued him. He didn't sue him. So the court of public opinion is believing that he was down low, sleeping with a man after he got through boo-booing, because that brother said it with his wife when she was eating grapes.
That's a lie. I'm gonna tell you this, because I remember a couple of weeks ago you had mentioned something about Wendy and DJ Booth. Okay, Kevin told me out of his mouth what really happened with that situation.
And what really happened with that situation?
What happened with that situation was Wendy was in the house. Wendy was sick. DJ Booth went to Wendy's house. And when he went to Wendy's house, he seen Wendy unconscious. There was people around. This is back when Bernie was around, her old manager. Bernie and other people from Deborah Mercury, the show, was around Wendy. They seen Wendy unconscious and they didn't want to give Wendy no help. DJ Booth called Kevin and said, yo, Kev, Wendy's messed up. These people don't want to bring her to the hospital. Kevin said, nah, tell them to call EMS. Little Kev called and threatened them and told them, if y'all don't get my mother some help, I'm calling the cops. Now, mind you, little Kevin was in Miami. Little Kev said, if y'all don't get my mother some help, I'm calling the cops and have them do a wellness check on her. They eventually gave in and called EMS. EMS came and got Wendy. Wendy had to have, I believe it was, I don't want to over exaggerate. I believe it was like maybe 3 or 4 blood transfusions because that's how much alcohol she had in her system. Wendy was near death in their house. And before DJ Booth came, nobody did not want to get her no help. That's the real story. And then later on, they made DJ Booth sign an NDA and told Booth that he was good.
But my thing is this.
And hold on, let me finish. Let me finish the story.
But the problem is you're trying to blame the production out. That's a Wendy Williams issue.
No, I'm telling you, bro. There's a lot.
And the blame is on her. Bro. Again, you got to blame it on the person with the drug.
But let me finish. Let me finish.
The drug issue. She got the alcohol issue.
Let me finish, bro.
It's not on the production house. This is because of her drinking problem.
Let me finish. When DJ Booth signed the NDA, okay, Deborah Mercury, not Wendy, Deborah Mercury, the production company, made him sign an NDA. Booth went to work, did the show. After the show was over, they fired him.
Good. Because again, I'm gonna say this.
Because
why? Because when you work in a production house, anybody know this when you work for a company, you will sign documentation. Some stuff you cannot say, some stuff you can say. Knock that out the window. Wendy Williams was a drunk. Whitney Houston was a crackhead. The blame is on the crackhead, on the drunk. The problem is with the black community, y'all lay it off of them and blame the white people. It ain't their problem. Most of these crackheads and drunks were crackheads and drunks before they even got signed up for the show. Wendy was a crackhead and a drunk before she became a television host. It's on her. She the one that messed up. And it's affecting her health to this day. Her husband was evil. He no different than Darren Mercury. He no different because he was screwing other women off of his wife's money and kind of pushed her more into being a drunk. The issue is them, not the production company, because now you got a new host over there on the time side. None of these issues. Ain't nobody getting drunk, sloppy drunk. Ain't nobody slowing over their words. They not faint on the set. Everything
and
is
I'm gonna tell you about that. I'm gonna tell you about that, Wiley. I'm gonna tell you about that. Sherry Shepherd learned from Wendy. Sherry Shepherd knows what trust me, trust and believe. I'm telling you, bro. I've spoken to countless producers that
she's not a drunk.
Hear me out, Wiley. Hear me out.
And she had a lucrative television career with The View.
Wiley,
she's not a drunk. See, the problem with you is that you taking Kevin's side and saying, "Oh, Kevin's not gay."
I'm not
know that.
Listen. I'm not taking Kevin's side. I'm not taking Kevin's side. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you.
You only taking his side. You don't have.
I'm not taking Kevin's side.
Let me say this: we all just taking what's happening publicly, because at the end of the day, let's just put it and say it is true. I would drink too if my husband's screwing another man. Do you know how degrading that is for a woman to find out that her man is sleeping with another man?
It's not about taking Kevin's side. It's about telling the truth. That's what it's about. It's not about taking Kevin's side. Y'all sit out here, y'all sit out here and y'all do all these bloggers and spew nothing but lies. And it's not half of the truth.
But Wendy not a liar. So everything that Wendy Williams have said was the truth.
Everything that Wendy said was not 100% accurate.
So we all in the same boat. So
even Wendy said herself that in that movie, they didn't state everything that transpired because they had to cut it down for timing.
But what I'm saying is that Wendy Williams is a drunk. That's a fact. And because of her drinking, she messed up her bag. And Sherry Shepherd was able to take advantage of the situation. These are facts. And because of Wendy Williams being a sad, pathetic woman, want a man, and not standing up to a no good, trifling man, then she allowed him to attach herself to her career. All he's gonna change. He's gonna stop cheating. As long as he don't have a baby, I'm cool with that. Then the man get a baby, and this is the only time the first child we know of. And then you got the child, then okay, now I got to divorce you, and it was too late. Then you got to deal with everybody dragging you for filth, and Wendy couldn't handle it. That's the problem. She couldn't handle her.
No, that's not the case. That's not the case.
She couldn't handle it. She got a huge substance problem. And then the thing with the husband threw her over the edge, and she's drinking herself to gone. She couldn't handle it. It is what it is. She have a drinking problem.
No, what? Honestly, bro, what really drew her over the edge was the death of her mother. That's what really drew her over the edge.
But you still got a drinking problem, regardless of whoever.
Bro,
I'm
if telling you, have an issue that's what
doing what she doing. She gonna drown her mama in the graveyard if she don't stop doing all that drinking.
That's sad.
It's the truth. It ain't sad. These are facts. If you keep living that destructive life, that is the end result. Look at Wendy, Miss Houston. They all told her, get off the crack. You're going, and guess how? She gone now. She ain't listening.
That's sad.
And then the narrative about Wendy Houston, they all say it was Bobby Brown. But when her brother started talking, I got her on the crack before she even got in the industry. I got on. Her brother said that. And her mother was shocked because they all put the blame on Bobby Brown. And she was already a crackhead before she met Bobby.
Facts.
So, and look what happened. She ain't living today. Because if you keep doing that destructive behavior, the end result is death.
But come on, let's be real. If a person who has previous substance abuse problems, if they are around people that's indulging, eventually they're gonna get tempted. If there's people that's around that know that you previously had a substance abuse problem, and they're bringing alcohol to you or around you, eventually you're gonna fall to temptation.
That's you. You got the drinking problem, but then you also got to add in the context. If I'm a millionaire, if I'm your employer, you're gonna give me what I want, or you're gonna get fired. So again, they know what to give Wendy Williams and what she gonna get, because if we don't give it to her, she gonna get it anyway. Just like Wendy Houston, she was always gonna find the crack. She's a celebrity, so the blame is on the crackhead, on the drug person, or on the people with the drinking problem. Because if you're the boss,
it's not what
you're gonna bring people in your inner circle that's gonna feed that spirit. It is what it. Or you're gonna fire them. You're gonna find a way. It is what it is.
No, she was fine. She was fine before all of this.
I think that she never was fine before all of this. I think that she was able to cover it up. I believe she was playing around with it, and the addiction. When you play around with stuff, the addiction got a hold to her, and she couldn't handle the backlash of this man getting a baby, and then now she's getting dragged all over the internet. She couldn't handle it, and she went down. After that baby, just go back to the baby. Ever since there was an announcement of this child and the backlash she got, she went downhill and she lost that show.
That's not true.
That's the only particular point. When I saw her doing her interview and she was talking about this, when she was doing her documentary, she did the movie. She was crying. She was hurting. She wasn't in no predicament to do no show. But again, you the boss, and we gonna do what you want to do. This a bad. And she sat there and she cried almost the entire time, eyeballs so huge. And I know she smoked a couple of rocks after she got done with that, and she went downhill. These are the facts. And then Kevin wanted to live up on his wife, and then it was agreement, and he signed it and said, "Hey, if it don't get renewed, she can stop her alimony payments." That's in the paperwork. That's why the alimony payments ceased, because she lost the show.
What you're saying right now is not
She
fact.
lost the show. She lost the
It's
deal.
not
He
fact.
don't get the alimony
That's
check.
not
Them
fact.
checks have ceased. He ain't getting no alimony check now. I don't know what he's gonna get in the future, but them checks have ceased.
It's not
He's
fact.
trying to sue to get the checks back.
No, actually, he's trying to sue so his son could be supported. That's what he's trying to sue for.
And it's going to be a challenge because other people it's going to be a challenge. He haven't gotten it now. That son going to have to wind up getting him a job because the money that's over there, the way how it's tied up over there, he really got to have some good lawyers, and Daddy got his own financial issues, and we will see if the judge even allowed that. Because as of right now, it was some things going on with Wendy Williams' money. The banks froze her accounts. The bank did. The courts got involved, and they didn't even give it to the son, neither to her brother. They gave it to somebody outside the family. So something happened. I don't know all the details, but something happened that they gave it to a
It's all a conspiracy. People is working against Wendy.
Well, that's her fault, and she can't.
And I'm telling you, when Wendy gets better, she's going to spill the beans.
That if she gets better, that have not happened yet.
She's gonna get better. Trust and believe. She's gonna get better. She's gonna get better. She's gonna get better. Yeah, because she has the wrong people around her.
Are we blaming it on the people and not her?
Yeah, of course. Yes.
Well, that's her fault. That's on her. We're not gonna give her no sympathy. You think Wendy should get some sympathy?
Yes.
She didn't give Wendy Houston no sympathy when she was on crack.
She's sick.
She didn't give nobody the sympathy, so she got to deal with that karma. This is her karma. Ain't nobody gonna give. They're not gonna give. They're not gonna give Wendy Williams this sympathy. She gave out the energy of dragging celebrity of their demise or their illnesses. She ain't gonna get no sympathy, and she's getting dragged all day long. We're not giving her that sympathy. We ain't giving it to her. Every time that she's being mentioned in the news, she's in some type of facility or she's in a store looking like a homeless woman, talking about she got a new show coming out. Remember, she had the podcast that's coming out. Then she told Jason Lee that she was married to a police officer. All this stuff that she doing. I do agree with being exploited, yes. But a lot of that, she could have been not exploited if she could push back that battle.
Jason Lee is a horrible man because he knew that Wendy was not well, and he pushed her out there.
I don't blame Jason Lee for doing it. I would do it too.
He pushed her out there.
It's about a bag.
No, it's different. No, it's different because you sit there, you call her your friend. This is my friend. We speak every day. I love Wendy. If you loved her so much, and you've seen that she's sick, she's ill, you would have not pushed her out there to go to some damn party.
What about her husband? Her husband took the vows and got on one knee and said, for better or worse, not to cheat on her.
Come on.
It's her husband's fault. So a lot of these people,
it's not her husband's fault.
It is her husband's fault. Husband, of course, he got to take some of this. It's not all his fault. Her husband ain't innocent. He got to take some of this blame.
He's not innocent, and I'm not saying that he's innocent.
He have to take some of this blame because a lot of stuff he did a lot of effed up stuff.
He did.
And he got to take some of that blame because a lot of things Wendy Williams was financing for him to
Kevin takes accountability for everything that he has done in that relationship.
That's why he got to sell that house. That's why his business are flopping. That's why the lady got a little stomach because it was built on a lie. It was built on mess, and that's why he's going through what he's going through. And then he's trying to fight. He's trying to fight to get more money from his wife, which is fat and pathetic. Go get your own job. You cheated on her. And I think the laws are so stupid and need to change. That's why I tell rich people don't get married to a broke person. If you ain't got billions, we not equally yoked. We just gonna shack. That's why Oprah Winfrey, I love Oprah because she got statement and never got married. And Oprah admitted it, what most rich women would never admit. She said if we would have got married, we would have been divorced a long time ago. They just shat, boyfriend and girlfriend. Because once you become, Mary J. Blige said the same thing. Once you get money, if the divorce don't work, you're going to have to wind up paying your ex-husband. And they can cheat and all this, but because they're accustomed to a certain lifestyle, you got to pay alimony check. That's why you shouldn't get wealthy to no broke you got money, you get with somebody that's broke, ain't got nothing. Because when they cheat on you and divorce you, you still got to pay that man a bag. Because he's gonna get a lawyer and tell that judge, well, I'm accustomed to a certain lifestyle. You got to wind up paying him a lot of money. That's why Mary J. Blige had to say what she had to say. Her husband cheated on her, but yet she still had to pay him money for years. As it's like, you got to know what you're doing when you get in marriage. Marriage is a business. If that business dissolve, somebody, if you got the money, they're gonna come after your bag.
Well, I'm just saying, don't believe the hype. Kevin is not broke.
Well, listen, I don't know what's that. Just like Wendy Williams said a whole lot of things about people.
I'm telling you, listen.
She read what's in the blogs.
Wiley,
but sir,
Wiley,
but we're no different than Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams used to read the National Enquirer and repeat what she read on her show. We're no different than what she did on the radio show day.
No, you're right. Wendy did read stuff, but she also got exclusive stuff. People was bringing stuff to Wendy.
I understand that people bring stuff to us. The word on the street is that
that's the thing. That's the thing.
That's what the word on the street is. That he's
everybody outside of New York swear they know the history about Wendy Williams. Everybody outside of New York swear they know so much about Wendy. Y'all don't know a lot about Wendy. Y'all only know what Wendy tells y'all. Y'all only know what y'all read in the blogs. Y'all wasn't here when
she thought she knew stuff about Wendy Miss Houston. And if we supposed to believe that was gold. See, again, you want to shield her. Well, y'all think y'all really know. Listen, she's a public figure.
Y'all don't really know Wendy like that. Y'all don't.
But she didn't know half these celebrities she was talking about, but she talked about it.
When Wendy was on Hot 97, when Wendy was on Hot 97, before she became syndicated, before everybody was able to hear or listen to Wendy, and we here in New York had the exclusive on anything Wendy. When people was bringing information to Wendy, Wendy was getting her information from newspapers and stuff like that. But it got to a point where people was delivering information. Managers, publicists were delivering information because they knew if Wendy's talking about them, their artists, their clients are gonna blow up.
And now she being talked about. She don't have that anymore.
Right.
She's a drunk. And her money, she got to get permission for somebody else. These are facts.
But see, here's the thing. Here's the thing about Wendy. Wendy's not asking for nobody for sympathy. Wendy don't give a fuck about people that have sympathy for her because she knows what she did. She knows what she did, and she knows that it comes with the business. She knows that. To be honest, Wendy likes the fact that she's in the blogs. She likes all of this. Wendy is laughing at everybody that's talking about her right now. It's when y'all don't talk about her, it's when it's a problem. But Wendy likes all of this. She's relishing in all of this. The negative shit, the positive shit. She likes all of this. Because as long as y'all keep her in the blogs, the more relevant she will be. Mm. And when she comes out that facility, when she comes out that facility, and she is better, and she's able to get back on her grind, every single last person that's talking about Wendy is going to be following her ass all over again.
I disagree. Number one.
Every single last person, including your ass, will be following Wendy. We'll be following Wendy. We'll be following Wendy, just like y'all was doing before. Wendy has the love from everybody. Even if you say that you hate Wendy, you don't like her, you're talking bad about her. Wendy could go into any radio station right now, any TV station right now, and say, I want a talk show. And they will give it to her. Why? Because they know she's going to bring in that following. They know that she's going to bring in money.
Let me tell you this, sir. It's not a flex to be in a hospital laughing you in a facility with a gown on, with a paper gown. They don't even give you a regular gown. It's not a flex.
It doesn't matter.
Hold on. It's not a flex. Losing your show to your guest host.
Listen.
It's not a flex.
Listen. Every celebrity, every
let me tell you why she's mentally incompetent. She couldn't even do a podcast.
Stop, Wiley. Stop, Wiley. Because every entertainer has their low moments. You rise up to the occasion. You're high. You're on top or whatever, and then for whatever reason, you fall down to the bottom. Everybody goes through it. It doesn't matter who you are. Everybody goes through it. This is a low moment.
Drunken binge like Wendy Williams. Don't put that on everybody. Everybody don't go through what she went through.
Come on, stop it.
Everybody don't.
Stop it.
I've known plenty of celebrities. They do not go on a drunken binge. They lose their income. When somebody else got to have permission of their income. Every celebrity don't go through that. Every celebrity don't.
Every celebrity goes through hard times. Every celebrity goes through a hard time, but every celebrity goes through some hard times. Come on, stop it.
This is a self-made hard time of her wicked drinking issue.
Stop it. Every celebrity goes through a hard time.
And because every celebrity goes through it, and they don't all choose to drink their life away like Wendy Williams.
Listen. It's a disease. She has a disease.
Oh, it's a disease.
Is it right? Is it right? No, it's not right. But she got a disease. She has a disease. What we fail to realize is that these celebrities are human people. They're human beings.
She didn't care about the human people that she talked about.
Fuck the celebrity shit. Fuck the celebrity shit.
She didn't care nothing about the celebrities that
she's a human being. She's a human being. She's a human being at the end of the day. And she goes through her own personal shit.
But the problem is with Wendy, she did this to people when she was coming up. She's getting that.
Exactly. Okay. And she owns that. She owns it.
I don't think she can't own it because she got dementia, according to the street.
She owns it. She owns it. Have you heard Wendy say, "Oh, feel sorry for me, or I'm going through it, please"? No. She's not asking for nobody's forgiveness or sorrow or nothing like that. No,
what do you say she's at right now?
She's in a facility. She's getting a wellness facility, and she's getting herself together.
She's in a facility again.
She's getting herself together. Simple as that.
And she's in a facility again. It's
Wiley.
No, I'm just saying she's in a facility. She's not in summer camp. She's in a facility.
Yes, she's getting the help that she needs. You're talking about a woman that has went through so much trauma in her life. She went through so much trauma stuff that no one even knows about. She went through so much trauma. She went through so much trauma in her life, and that's one of the reasons why she's a workaholic.
To this last point about this, this is because of her own doing. She have to take ownership of putting that bottle to her lips, and it's affecting her. Some people,
but why? Let me stop.
It's destroying her career.
Stop.
The crack pipe destroyed Wendy Williams. The drug destroyed Michael Jackson. Have you
ever heard Wendy denying it? Have you ever heard Wendy saying, "Oh no, I didn't do this. No, I didn't do that"? No.
That's what I'm saying. And see, the issue is with Wendy Williams and myself. Wendy.
That's why everybody loves Wendy.
Let me say this part. Wendy Williams had something that most people would never have. They would never have a successful show with millions, when hundreds of people are dependent upon her. The issue with her, she decided to take out the weak way to drink herself to to a point that she had to be in a facility multiple times over and over and over. She did that to herself.
But you know what, Wally? I'm gonna let you know what you know, Wally. I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you say what you want to say. I'm gonna let you say what you want to say.
In a lifetime opportunity.
I'm gonna let you say what you want to say.
Be your own boss.
When you get to that level, when you get to the level of stardom, then you're gonna understand. You're gonna understand that when you get to a certain level of stardom,
to a facility, sir.
When you get to a level of stardom,
so we're gonna blame her celebrity status for her being a drunk.
You're gonna understand that you lose certain levels of control.
Oh, so we're gonna blame her being a celebrity being a drunk. So all the celebrities, because they're a celebrity, gonna lose control and be a drunk and a crackhead. We're gonna blame that on the celebrity status.
Wiley.
Because Wendy Williams
She's
was
gonna.
crack before she even became a celebrity.
That's not true.
Her brother got her on the drugs.
That's not true.
Her brother
That's a
said it
lie.
in the interview.
No, that's not true.
Oh, so you don't believe that her brother got her on the drugs before she met?
That is not true. That is not
That's
true.
what her brother said in the interview with Oprah Winfrey.
No, that's not true.
So you don't believe that the brother got her on drugs?
Wait.
So we just
You
believe
said
your
Whitney
word because
Houston?
you know the brother.
Wait. You said Whitney Houston or Wendy Williams?
I'm talking about Wendy Houston. This before she became.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Wendy Williams.
So, and when it comes to Wendy Williams, this is all on her, baby. These are her decisions, and she gonna be talked about.
And she's fine with that.
And
she's fine with that.
And the sad part about it is, it's her more to drink because when she turned on her television show, I mean the network that used to, she see somebody else doing her show. So she's just going through a lot. Like she's going through just like Wendy Houston. Like when she came out, when she was singing them high notes, she couldn't sing it no more. That destroyed her. But she messed up her voice. And now with Wendy Williams, when she tuned into the television, she sees somebody else with her billboards. I think personally she should have left New York. All of the billboards that was up with her name and her name on the marquee and all that is somebody else. So that is destroying her. And it's so sad. And now she's in a facility.
She's healing.
Yeah.
She's healing.
Hopefully she do heal.
God forbid, let your mother die.
Does it?
And see how you feel. Like real talk.
She's not dead, but the thing about it is
God, okay. So then,
I tell people.
So if you don't know how that feels, don't condemn somebody.
Maybe it's not dead. Oh. She's not dead. She's still breathing.
Okay.
The issue is that we're going to be talked about. Period. So
people were talking about her before all of this.
This is the decision.
Not for nothing, Wiley. Not for nothing.
This decision you made.
People talking about Wendy Williams is what led her to get. People talking about Wendy Williams is what led her to get to her TV talk show. People talking about Wendy Williams is what led her to get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. People talking about Wendy Williams is what led her to
That's
be,
all
to
good,
be the
but
first,
look at it now.
To be the first black person, to be the first black person to be at the Radio Hall of Fame.
And do that mean anything if you in a facility in a gown?
Okay.
That means absolutely nothing.
So to be honest, Wendy don't care. She don't care about people talking because she knows what she did. She knows what she said about people. She's taking accountability for that, and she knows that people are always talk about her.
I think that Wendy is a prime example for people that love to drink, that it can destroy. I don't know, you don't want to talk about it, but we have to bring it up because she's a public figure. When you pick up that bottle, that's why some things is not best to pick up. She picked it up, she will be judged for it in the court of public opinion. Because if it was somebody else, if the roles were reversed and somebody else was drinking and Wendy still had her show, she'll be on that pink stool or that purple couch talking about that celebrity drinking. So she's just dealing with she have always done. When she came up, she talked about people. So she's going to get that same energy because she put that energy in the universe. It is what it is. Keep putting it out there. So now everybody got to talk about Wendy Williams, talk about her husband, talk about her son. They're talking about it because they are public figure. That comes with the territory. That comes with it. They'll talk about when you do good. They'll talk about you bad. You will be talked about. You will be talked about.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this, and then I'm gonna bounce off in a minute. I remember back in, I think it was 2014 I think it was 2014. I think it was 2014. I was at the Wendy Williams studio, and I was having lunch. The studio was closed, and I was having lunch. And someone that's close to Wendy told me that Wendy always knew that her show was going to end in 2020. Was it ended in 2021, 2020, like 2021 or 2019? She knew that her show was going to end. She said it, that she knew that she was not going to have long on that show. She was not expecting to be on this show for much longer. She knew that. And the reason why is because she felt that people was trying to get her, because Wendy didn't care about the whole Hollywood stuff. She didn't want to hang out with Hollywood people. She didn't want to be friends with them. Wendy Love was for the people, her audience, the people that supported her. That's what she cared about the most. She didn't want to be friends with all them celebrities that were sitting on her couch or on her radio show. She didn't care about that. And a lot of people behind the scenes did not like that. They didn't like that she was refusing to hang out with them and be around them. So she knew that her time was ending. This is way before any allegations of cheating with Kevin or drug use or whatever. This is way before that. This was back when Wendy's show was doing great. She had just got renewed, and she said to her staff, "I know that my time is ending." And she knew, I believe the show ended in 2020. She knew, or 2021, 2020, or 2019. She knew at that point that the show was over. She knew that everything was going to go downhill from there. She knew that.
Because maybe she was a drug addict and a drunk.
No, she was not on drugs at that time, bro.
Oh, so you took a drug test?
She was not drugged. She's not drugged at that time.
She was not on drugs. She wasn't high at that moment.
She was not. I've been around Wendy countless times. I've been to parties, exclusive parties, birthday parties. Birthday parties. I worked for Wendy.
So you was around her 24/7.
So I've been around Wendy. I've seen Wendy.
So you was around her 24/7.
I've been around people, the people that was around her.
You was around her 24/7.
And I'm telling you, she was not at that time. At that time, she was not indulging on drugs. She was focused on her work. Wendy is a workaholic. Wendy loves the people. She loves the roar of the crowd.
And she loved that bottle too.
She loves that. And Kevin told me this himself. But like I said, Kevin, Wendy, when the time is right, they're going to tell their full story. So it's too much litigation. It's too much litigation that's going on. So this is why Kevin's not really talking, because he is suing Debra Mercury.
Well, he tried to sue and trying to blame the show, talking about it was because of his idea the show was successful.
It was his idea that the show was successful. 100%. 100%. He's the reason why she got that show.
He's the reason why it was successful.
They contact. He's right. Because when they wanted to go left and do something different other than what the formula Wendy had, he's the one that stepped in and said, "No, we're not doing that."
And he messed it up by cheating.
And once again, I'm not saying that he's the greatest man, because he's not. He's not saying that he's the greatest man. But he did held down that ship. And when people were trying to change Wendy, and when people were trying to change the show and take the show in a different direction, that would have made that show fail and not last long, he's the one who stepped up and started screaming and yelling and making things happen the right way. And the way that him and Wendy envisioned. He's the one who did that. Well, and every entertainer and every celebrity needs a person like that. That's gonna stand up for you.
Because he did all of that and he cheated on her, and all that good you claim he did, he messed it up because he couldn't control his speed. He couldn't control his speed.
Private matters,
sleeping with men and women.
Personal matters and business have nothing to do with each other. Personal matters and business have nothing to do with each other.
His personal matter,
personal matters and business have nothing to do
let me tell
with
you
each
why.
other.
His personal matters
his personal life was messed up, but his business
his personal matters messed up the business.
Good. It doesn't matter. No, bro. That's not what it is.
Because of his
That's
personal matters. His personal matters messed up the business. His personal drama intrudes it into Wendy Williams' business.
Personal matter does not have nothing to do with the business.
It does. You cannot distinguish the two.
It doesn't.
It's a husband. I'm gonna say it's a husband and a wife.
The reason why
cheated on Wendy Williams and it affected her business.
He held that business down. He held that business down.
It is gone now. And he couldn't hold it for himself. If he was such a good person you claim he is, why he couldn't do another show and get off the ground? He was such a genius.
Because that's not where he's focused at right now. Right now he's focused on his three restaurants, and his publishing company.
So he don't have a house on sale, so he didn't tell the court that he can't afford to pay to keep his house? So that's all.
I don't know about that. That I don't know about.
So he didn't have to sell them cars and get loans. So that's a lot. You said you talked to him. Did you ask him any questions about that?
I'm not going to get into too much. I'm going to let him speak and allow him to speak his side and tell his piece. But I can confirm to you that he's not as broke as what the blogs is talking about.
Well, he's telling the courts that he's broke. These are court documents. These bloggers are posting the court documents. They're posting that he's getting loans. They're posting their receipts.
So lawyers don't lie for their clients?
I'm just saying it's in the documents. Lawyers don't fudge certain information to make their case stronger. But when I'm saying
lawyers don't do that.
You didn't ask him why he's selling his home. I'm asking you why you selling his home. You didn't ask him why he ain't selling his cars. That's what's on the top. That's why he's in the media. The documents is posted. Ask him questions. Did you sell your cars? Why did you sell your cars? Why did you get the loan? It's out there. That's why he's being discussed. So, feel sorry for Wendy. She's in a facility. Her husband pregnant another woman. She moving on with her life. It's just all sad. It's just all sad that this is going on, man. It's a sad situation. It's a very sad situation. It's well, I'm not really crying about it. I really don't give a darn about it. I'm just going to use it for content because I don't have any personal interest in this story at all. It's just like Wendy is a prime example. When you do good, we're going to talk about you. When you do bad and get in a facility, we're really going to talk about you. This is how the business go.
Right. She knows that.
I don't think she knows it right now because she ain't in her right mind.
She knows that. She knows that.
She probably did know that when she was competent, but this is a totally different
way. Let me tell you something. Wendy is a Cancer, and one thing about us Cancers, we are very smart people, and we do things very calculously. So don't, like I said, don't believe everything that you read.
So she's
Wendy is very smart.
Because she's a Cancer?
Wendy is very, trust me, Wendy is very smart and she knows exactly what she's doing.
My friend is a Cancer. He's on crystal meth.
That's your friend.
And Wendy got a drug problem and she's in a facility.
That's that. Trust and believe. Wendy knows Wendy is coherent enough to know what's going on. She is.
Okay. She wasn't coherent enough to control her checkbook.
Okay.
She wasn't that coherent enough. When somebody else got to pay your bills and you got to ask them permission to buy a sandwich, something wrong with you mentally if somebody else take control of your finances. So this
okay.
This
like I said.
So this is what's going on. I don't care how manipulative, I don't care what your zodiac saying. You ain't gonna let no course take over your finances.
Tell you.
Just to
it's
prove
all
you
a
get no
conspiracy.
flaw.
It's all a conspiracy. It's all a conspiracy, and it's gonna come out. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, it's a conspiracy.
It's all a conspiracy. I'm telling you.
Okay.
This is all about control.
Baby.
This is all about control. I'm telling you.
Okay. We shall see.
It's all about control. I'm telling you.
Thank you. Thank you, brother.
The wealthier you get, the more greedy people become. And they'll do anything to manipulate you.
Yes.
Take your money. Control you. Control your narrative. They will do all of that. And that has been shown time and over again with certain celebrities.
But when you're drunk,
those are the people that
give them easy access.
Those are the people that's feeding you the alcohol. Those are the people that's feeding you the drugs. That's a known fact. When you go into Hollywood, anybody tells you that.
Whose fault is that then? Who you blaming? You blaming Wendy or the industry?
When you go into Hollywood, that's the first thing that's introduced to you.
So Wendy don't get no blame. It's everybody. See, that's the problem with addicts. It's everybody else's issue, but except them.
That's the first thing that's introduced to you. That's the first thing that's
It's up to you to take it, brother. It's up to you to take it. Oprah Winfrey didn't have to lose her show for drinking, falling out, and fame. She was able to retire, have a lucrative career. So again, you're blaming everybody else except the addict.
Okay.
In order for you to change when you go to rehab, you must admit that you're an addict. You can't be, well, it's because I'm a celebrity. It's because it's Hollywood. When you gonna put the blame on you for making these decisions? It's plenty of people that's in Hollywood that don't drink and drink themselves to death and end up in a facility. Many successful people that are living a clean life that ain't picking up no bottles.
That you know of.
There's plenty successful people. There's a lot of celebrities out there
that fell to
so all of them are
rock
like
bottom.
Because Wendy,
there's a lot of celebrities that fell to rock bottom, and they had people around them that
a lot of broke people. It's a lot of broke people that.
There's a lot of celebrities
that are not even in Hollywood. But my thing is, we kind of stop excusing her behavior and call it out for what it is. Wendy, she made these decisions, and she got to live with.
Okay, Wiley.
She made these decisions.
I'm gonna let you have your piece. I'm gonna let you have your piece. I'm gonna go ahead and let you. I just called to say don't believe everything that you hear.
And once you become a boss, you're a crackhead. You become a boss. People will give you more crack. That's what it is.
I'm gonna just say what you want to say, because everybody that's talking about this lady, dragging her and saying is when she does return, everybody's gonna be kissing her ass all over again.
They're not doing it now.
Of course, they're not doing that now because she's away. She's in the facility. You know, her story, as she would say, is grist for your mill. Shit, I'm talking about Wendy. It's grist for the mill.
Well, thank you so very much. And we're not the only one talking about her. Her son talking about her too.
Yeah, he's telling, because they telling lots about him.
So
they telling lots. So as he should. He's tired of sitting around people telling lies about him.
Well,
and then she has people that's around her currently right now that's keeping her away from her family.
Well, whose fault is that?
Before they came along, she had people who was around her, keeping her away from her family.
Well, that's her fault. She picked up the bottom. That's her fault. I'm blaming her.
Okay.
Because the industry gonna be the industry. You got to be the change of it.
The industry is going to be the industry regardless.
Absolutely. Thank you, brother, for calling in.
All right, I love you, brother.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye.
All that drinking. All this blame Holly. No, baby, blame you. All right, did y'all enjoy that? Let me know in the comments, did y'all enjoy me talking to Wendy Williams' close friend? Make sure y'all go check it out. We had her close friend on the show. Y'all heard it here live on the Wiley Show. Thank you all so very much. If anybody else want to say something, I will drop the link really quickly. If anybody want to say something really quickly, we can drop the link. But we definitely had the friend on the show, and we had it here first, exclusively on our show. And we appreciate him for coming on, for calling to the show. And we asked very tough questions. We're trending on Twitter. They're using the hashtag The Wiley Show, and we greatly appreciate that. Many people in the chat, they were throwing shade, and now is the time. If you have something to say, you can hit the link to come on and say what you got to say, because we are live and we could definitely have the conversation right now. You can hit the link. If you got something to say, you can hit the link right now to say what you got to say. Thank you all so very much. Make sure y'all go to the website. I know y'all going to drag me in the comments. We are here for it. All right. Or you can keep your comments, and you can definitely drag me in the comments, child. We had the one and all, that beautiful interview, the best interview ever. I am the best interview ever in the world. There is nobody like me. Oprah don't even come close to my interview skills. Little black boy, you're beautiful. Little black girl, you enough. When times get hard, remember to put God first. Thumbs up this video, share this video, leave a comment. How did I do? And you can drag me. I respond to all. I don't delete comments unless it's a cuss word. Peace.